My name is Nathan, and at 30, I thought I knew what family meant. Not the glossy, picture-perfect kind, but the kind you build through sacrifice, the kind you carry even when it cuts. I was the steady one, the middle child who fixed problems, paid bills, and never asked for thanks. I didn't mind, not at first. I believed that's what love looked like, showing up, no matter the cost. But last year I learned that some families don't love you back. They use you until you're empty and call it loyalty. Growing up, I was sandwiched between my older brother Caleb, the charismatic athlete who could do no wrong, and my younger sister Sophie, the darling who got applause for breathing. I was the invisible one, solid grades, no drama, the kid who mowed the lawn and didn't complain. My parents called me reliable, but it sounded like an apology. I left home on a scholarship, built a cybersecurity startup from nothing, and after years of 18-hour days and rejections, it sold for millions. Suddenly, I wasn't just Nathan. I was the family's lifeline. It started small. Dad needed $5,000 for Caleb's truck loan, just until he's back on his feet. Sophie's art school tuition wasn't covered by aid, so I paid it. Mom's dream was a new porch. I funded it, then the HVAC key, then her car. Soon I was bankrolling two mortgages, Sophie's rent, and Caleb's business ventures that never panned out. Texts came daily. Can you Venmo for gas? The electric's due. I didn't say no. I told myself I was building something, a legacy, a bond. But the thanks never came, only more requests and the silent expectation that I owed them. The shift came at Christmas, hosted at my new condo, a place I'd bought with my own sweat, big enough for everyone. I cooked, decorated, set up a bar. No one offered to help. Caleb gave a speech about family strength, never mentioning the $20,000 I'd sent for his emergency last month. Sophie scrolled Instagram, her boyfriend napping on my couch. Mom complained the turkey was dry. Dad lectured me on kids these days. I smiled, poured wine, and cleaned up alone. Inside, something cracked, but I patched it like always. Then came the voicemail that broke me. It was a Wednesday after a brutal client meeting. I came home, exhausted, to a message from Dad, his voice cold as steel. You have never given this family anything real, Nathan. You act like we're in your debt, but you're the one who's been taking. If you had any spine, you'd walk away. I played it again, then a third time, each word a blade. Taking. I'd paid their bills for years, missed vacations to cover their emergencies, stayed silent when they forgot my birthday. I stood by my window, the city's glow blurring, and felt something give. Not anger, but clarity, like a fog lifting. That night I acted. No outburst, no letter. I called my accountant and froze all family payments, tuition, loans, utilities. I packed a duffel, booked a flight to Seattle, and left. My condo was quiet, the key in the lock a final click. I didn't tell anyone. For 2 weeks, no one noticed. No calls, no texts. It was Sophie who broke the silence, her voice trembling in a voicemail. Nathan, my tuition didn't clear. Is something wrong? I texted back. You said I never gave anything. I'm just following your lead. No explanation. Just that. Within hours, my phone lit up. Mom, Caleb, Dad, even Sophie's boyfriend. Dad's voicemail was a masterpiece. This isn't a game, Nathan. Your sister's education is at stake. Stop this nonsense. No apology, just demands. In Seattle, I rented a cabin in the woods, the kind with creaking floors and a view of mist-shrouded pines. I turned off my phone, hiked trails, and drank coffee at a diner where no one knew my name. The silence was jarring at first, like I'd forgotten how to breathe without someone's crisis. But slowly, it became freedom. Back home, the dominoes fell. Sophie faced expulsion. Caleb's car was repossessed. Mom and Dad's mortgage defaulted. They spun a story to relatives. Nathan, the selfish son, abandoned them. But my cousin Lena messaged, I saw how they leaned on you. You're not the villain here. Her words were a lifeline, proof I wasn't imagining the years of being used. I stayed in Seattle sketching a new life. I joined a climbing gym, met people who asked about my day, not my wallet. I started writing code again, not for profit, but for joy. 3 weeks in, Mom emailed, subject, come home. The message was a spiral of guilt. We raised you, We sacrificed. Family doesn't do this. I read it on a pier, the Puget Sound glittering. Family doesn't do this? They'd done it every time they took my money and gave me silence. Every time they celebrated Caleb's touchdowns in Sophie's art shows while I faded into the background. I forwarded the email to my lawyer, Rachel, with a note. Start the asset review. Years ago, I'd bought a cabin in the Adirondacks for family retreats, fully funded by me, with my name on the deed. They'd promised it was ours, but I wasn't invited to their summers there. Rachel confirmed I owned it outright. I listed it for sale. No warning. I also found a loan I'd given Dad for their house. $100,000, undocumented, unpaid. Rachel filed a lien giving me legal claim. They'd built their life on my generosity, assuming I'd never pull it back. I flew home, not to reconcile, but to close the chapter. I didn't tell them I was coming. I drove to the Adirondacks cabin at dawn, the lake still as glass. Inside, it was a shrine to them. Photos of Caleb's football days, Sophie's sketches, Mom's quilts. Not one trace of me. I took pictures for the listing, my footsteps echoing. By evening, the sale was in motion. Back in my condo, I sent a group text. You said I gave nothing, so I'm giving you what you wanted. Nothing. No tuition, no cars, no cabin. Build your own legacy. I left the chat and blocked them. The fallout was seismic. Sophie dropped out, blaming me on social media. My brother bailed, and now my dreams are gone. Comments asked questions she couldn't answer. Didn't he pay your tuition for years? Caleb lost his job, too distracted by his crisis. Mom and Dad faced foreclosure, their savings drained. They told aunts and uncles I'd snapped. But Lena posted online, Nathan carried them for years. They bit the hand that fed them. The truth spread, quiet but unstoppable. A month later, I was in Portland, starting fresh. I'd redirected the cabin's sale proceeds to a scholarship fund for low-income tech students. People like the kid I'd been, scraping by on grit. My phone was quiet now. No emergencies, no guilt trips. Then Sophie emailed, no subject, just, I see it now, I'm sorry. I didn't know how much you did. I read it, the words heavy but late. I didn't reply, not out of spite, but because I didn't need her validation anymore. The final blow came when the house, my parents' house, hit the auction block. I didn't attend, but Rachel sent updates. It sold to a young family, eager for a fresh start. Mom called sobbing from a motel. How could you take our home? I said calm, you took my trust. I just took back what was mine. She hung up, and that was the last I heard from her. Now I live in a Portland loft, small but mine, with a skylight that catches the rain. I code, climb, and host dinners for friends who see me. Nathan, not a wallet. I don't check for family texts anymore. Lena visits sometimes, the only bridge I kept. Last week, I found an old journal from college, filled with dreams. Build a company, help my family, be enough. I smiled, closed it, and put it away. I'd been enough all along, they just never looked.